Happy Tuesday. Welcome into Let's Bet It. Lauren Jbara here with Jared Smith. We got a lot to talk about. Monday Night Football last night was so close to winning a Giants money line bet. So close, Jared. What do you think about the game last night?
Fun game. Eli and Peyton are just gifts
They're
to
hilarious.
the world. I honestly, it's unfortunate they're not going to be doing next week's game, but the fact that they were doing a Giants game, I thought was really cool. They had Michael Strahan on, and you got the, you got the Giants fandom vibe a little bit, but also with Peyton, especially just some of the issues that Patrick Mahomes is having, some of the things that they weren't doing well that I thought they did a little bit better last night. They still turned it over. They still showed you that their defense can be had in some spots. And yes, I do think big picture, the Chiefs are going to be okay. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to be a playoff team. And I think you saw some of the positives from Mahomes last night. The short passing game, they got the running game involved a little bit. Derek Gore kind of showed you that he's got a little bit of giddy up. And with the Giants, it was close. They went on the road and they almost got a win at Arrowhead. And Daniel Jones played well enough to win. They just needed one more drive, one more play, and the injuries keep really biting them in the butt. Shepard got hurt. Tony, was in and out of the lineup as well. So they need to get healthy. But I think it was positives on both sides, and I think it was a really good football game.
Definitely. I know the one bet that I really was happy that I won, Patrick Mahomes. Interception, yes or no? Yes, got it for plus money. Guess what?
How about Kyle Rudolph? 10-1 on a touchdown.
Let's go. That was so awesome.
That was pretty fun. It was a fun game. That was a fun game.
I can't believe week 8 is already wrapped up like that. We're on to week 9 of the NFL. Today we're talking about week 10 college football, some of our early bird specials. And I'm not talking bacon and egg breakfast. I'm talking week 10 college football. We have game 6 of the World Series tonight. And the Braves are taking it all, I think. We'll talk about that in a little bit, too. We have our friend John Hyslop, Sloppin' John, coming on the show, giving us a breakdown of NBA, MLB, his best bet of the day. And then we can't end without our Pickswise 3-star play of the day, too. Jared, lots to get into. So without further ado, let's have a great Taco Tuesday. Let's get it. Let's bet it. Early bird special. We have omelet, bacon, sausage, and we have week 10 college football. What games are you looking at on a Tuesday heading into the weekend?
Well, before we get
still pretty far away. It's only Tuesday.
I know. Before we get started, do you want to make me eat some breakfast? I mean,
I do.
You do? I feel like you don't, because I feel like you're one of those people that even seeing someone eat candy corn might upset you. But before we get into the
grow up, you know what I mean? Like it just kind of triggers the. Oh.
So I went to the store yesterday and I bought my punishment, my candy corn for betting on the Falcons this weekend. But then something happened last night as I was working on my early bird bets, which we will get to in a moment. So I said, okay, if I'm going to eat this, by the way, this is a gigantic.
I can't even look at it, Jared. It disgusts me.
It's a gigantic bag of candy corn. So I had to open it because I was like, all right, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to try it now and see if I'm going to throw up on the air tomorrow. And then I took a few bites of it and I was like, not that bad. So I'm not that mad about this punishment because I haven't eaten breakfast yet today. And I love candy for breakfast because I'm basically a 12-year-old kid trapped in a 35-year-old body.
2 years old.
So here's your handful of candy corn.
Yes. Wait, let's tell the people why.
Go ahead.
Why?
As I eat.
So Jared and I bet against each other. What game it was?
Falcons, Panthers.
Yeah. And I won. And I won. No, I need you to do it all at once. Like you're eating one at a time. Like you got to just take a whole handful. Oh. No to the candy corn. Also,
I can bring this to dinner tonight.
Jared went to Five Below. It's like the day after 4th of July. It's like you buy one firework, get 10 free. It's like you buy one Reese's
so much free candy yesterday.
And you 10 bags of candy corn for free.
Oh,
that's basically
that's a lot of candy corn.
They're trying to give them away. No one wants candy corn. They're just trying to give them away. I will say, though, I like Peeps. Peeps are a fan favorite of mine.
Okay.
Crowd favorite. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I stand strong on that. Candy corn, trash. Peeps, amazing.
I'm going to bring this to dinner tonight, and you're going to have a little.
Oh, my gosh. No.
We'll help you clear your palate.
Your mouth is like orange now. Gross. Okay, we are moving on because of the.
All right, the bet is over. The debt has been paid. By the way, I'm 0-2 when I fade you in swag bets. So
I know. So you've had to wear Michigan gear, and you've had to eat candy corn. What's next, Jared? Because third time's the charm. I'm ready to. We need another one this week.
Well, I sent you the tweet of you getting caked in the face during your pregame show with the Avs. Yeah. We could do that, but I think that's more fun in person. That's not as fun.
Face? Yeah, it's not as cool if you pie yourself.
No, that's not as fun at all. But who knows? Maybe one day we'll do a show together and we'll do that. We'll come up with something. We'll come up with something. I'm sure we'll have some diabolical schemes hatched up in our group chats this week. So we'll see.
Quick question. Did you just take the candy corn and pour it into a Ziploc bag? Is that what happened?
I did. Well, because when you open, when you open the bags and like they don't.
And then just the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. It was one of those bags that just didn't have like a Ziploc, reseal. So listen, I'm kind of OCD with my kitchen stuff. So I have I'm a Ziploc guy. When I open a big bag of pretzels, I put it into one of those big containers so they don't get stale. Because if you just use the chip clip, it gets stale. And nobody likes stale pretzels. So I'm a Ziploc resealer, Tupperware kind of
It's good person. To know. Duly noted. Our producer Jack goes, go to the early bird picks, guys. He's like, enough candy corn. All right. Early bird picks.
Way off the rails here.
Jared, what games are you looking at going into week 10 this weekend?
Oh, wait, you mean we have to talk about gambling and sports on this show? Crap. All right, I didn't have anything prepared today. No, all right, we're going to play our favorite game. So it's the game where Jared makes a bet on Sunday, and then he talks about it with Lauren on Tuesday, and Lauren has to guess how much the line has moved.
Okay.
So I bet Pitt minus 18.5 at Duke on Sunday night. Remember, last week we faded Pitt against Miami. Yeah. Great pick because Miami won outright. This week, we're backing Pitt. 18.5. Guess where the line is now?
20.
Almost. 21.
Really?
2.5 points of steal. It's not closing yet. But 2.5 points of movement in my favor over the first 36-ish hours of the market being open here with the college football week 10. Week 10 of college football. Wow. So we talked about Pitt last week. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a letdown spot for them after their Clemson win. Well, now it's the other side. It's a bounce back game after losing outright to Miami. Yeah. Pitt's defense didn't play well against Miami. And I credit Tyler Van Dyke, and I think Van Dyke was undervalued in the market. Well, now they get to face Duke, who can't score. They got shut out a couple weeks ago against Virginia. They couldn't score against Wake last week. And their defense, goodness gracious, Duke's defense, the numbers are brutal. 113th in opponent points per game, 121st in opponent yards per play, 104th in opponent third down conversions. So Duke's only scored 41 points in the last 4 games, and they can't defend a lick. Pitt's going to bounce back this week. They're going to beat Duke by, I would say, at least 4 touchdowns. 21 is a dividing line here. I wouldn't play it past 21.
Yeah.
So we're on Pitt minus 18.5 against Duke. I like Houston this week at USF. I don't know if you watched the ending of the Houston SMU game last week. Holy moly. A walk-off kickoff return for a touchdown. Incredible stuff. Crazy so game. Crazy. Watch the ending of that Houston SMU game. So now Houston, maybe a little bit of a letdown spot, but they're facing USF, who has been brutal. Again, defense, they're terrible. 123rd in opponent yards per play, 105th in opponent points per play. Houston defense is playing really well, even though they gave up a bunch of points to SMU last week. They're top 20 in opponent yards per play. So I think USF, who's really struggled this year, coming off a brutal loss to ECU, they've lost 4 of their last 5. I think this line closes 14 or longer. So at 13.5, I think you could still get in here. I got in at 12.5. I like UNC this week too against Wake Forest. And this is a fascinating game. Unranked, favored at home against a top 10 undefeated team. Wow. So you would think Wake, they're undefeated, they're ranked in the top 10, they're having one of the best years ever in the history of the program. You would think they'd be favored against UNC, who's kind of struggled a little bit this year. They've lost 4 games. Nope, UNC's favored, and there's your indicator. There's your red flag. Not a deal breaker. That's more of a red flag.
Definitely red flag.
Yeah, so I think UNC at home with Sam Howell is going to show Wake that they're probably not as good as their record and their ranking indicates. And I think the fact that they're favored in this game, you're getting it under a field goal is nice. I think it closes at a field goal. So I think UNC -2, 2.5 is a decent price to get in. So there you goes, the early bird picks this week. Pitt, Houston, and UNC.
Guess what? I'm on the other side of that UNC game.
That's okay.
So
does that mean that's our swag bet this week?
It could be. It could be. We'll think about it. I haven't bet it yet, but I'm looking at it. I have Wake Forest money line.
You know the ACC pretty well. You're kind of hanging out there.
Yeah, I've been covering some of these ACC games. I mean, the Demon Deacons are 8-0, 45-7 against Duke. And I know you just talked about Duke, saying, the defense can't stop anyone.
Duke
Offense
stinks.
can't score, but at the same time, 45 points is a lot. And this is a team, a Wake Forest team that has been putting up numbers all season. I really like Sam Hartman. He threw for 402 yards and 3 touchdowns with another pair of scores on the ground last week. I think Dave Clawson knows how to coach this team. They're the last unbeaten team in ACC play. Yeah. I really like I know they've had some shootouts this year. This could be another one, which I think it will be against UNC. But life on the edge can be a little bit dangerous. But they're closing the year with 3 of 4 games on the road. I like Wake Forest in this one. I covered them for a game. You just see how these guys want to play for Dave Clawson.
Yeah.
And I said it last week when UNC was playing Notre Dame. Their magic number is 35. Guess what? How many points they scored last week? 34. They're 4-0. When they score 35 points or more, and 0-4. They were 0-3 last week. Now 0-4 when they don't. So all Wake Forest has to do is hold UNC to under 35 points, because now we have an 8-game whatever that we can actually see this trend happening.
Sample size.
I couldn't think of the word.
You had it. I was waiting for it. I was like
an 8-game sample size. That's what I'm looking for. 8-game sample size. I don't think UNC's defense has grasped the whole stop the opponent concept. They gave up 523 yards, 293 on the ground to Notre Dame.
You're very passionate about your Demon Deacons this week.
Yes.
This is good. We're going to have to do a demonic.
I love a good plus money line. Plus money line.
Yeah, and this is if you're going to play Wake, you play the money line. Absolutely. 100%.
I know. You see the value there. So maybe we'll do a little bet. I haven't bet it yet. I'm still considering, but you know what?
Well, you let me know. I'll keep my bag of candy corn here, zip locked up and ready to roll.
Perfect. I love it. Another game I'm looking at, and this breaks my heart. This pains me. But Michigan State laying 2.5. Oh. They beat my Michigan Wolverines last week. Michigan was making their secondary look non-existent, and then all of a sudden, Kenneth Walker just has the game of his life and scores 5 touchdowns. Are you kidding? So I look at that. They're riding that momentum from last week. Walker scored 3 of his 5 rushing touchdowns after halftime, finished with 197 yards. Michigan State's defense also came up. 2 huge takeaways in the fourth quarter, recovered fumble that set up Walker's go-ahead score and a game-clinching interception. Mel Tucker just has this team clicking right now, and as much as I hate to say it, it makes MSU a tough out almost any week. I like them laying 2.5 against Purdue right now. It's time to find out if the Boilermakers can channel a second dose of upset magic this year. They beat Iowa in mid-October. Now comes the chance to shake up the Big Ten East. I think that the Boilermakers have defensive personnel necessary to make things difficult for MSU, but I don't think that it's possible to stop Kenneth Walker. That was the thing I said last week for Michigan. You got to stop a guy like Kenneth Walker. It's not an easy task. They did a decent job in the first half, and then all of a sudden he breaks out and just has the game of his life. I think he was like the first player to ever score 5 touchdowns in Michigan State football history.
Really?
So
if they gave out the Heisman today, I think he would win it.
Yeah, I like Michigan State laying 2.5. I don't like betting for Michigan State, but I like making money. So,
I'm surprised. Usually you err on the side of your
necessity. Sometimes dignity takes a backseat to necessity, and you just got to do what you got to do.
That's an interesting cliche. I've never heard that one before. Dignity takes a backseat to necessity. I'll stash that one.
Yeah, keep that for later. Hold on to it. Okay, what is your dumpster dive game? Because I know you always love.
This is your game. This game is, if you don't bet this game with me, I'm going to be offended. More like if Mr. Jabbar does not bet this game with me, I'm going to be very
Dad,
offended.
are you listening or?
Yeah, Mr. Jabbar, keep an ear out for this one. This one's the winner of the week right here. Utah State and New Mexico State over 70.5. So when we talk about totals in college football, there are going to be your head is going to be spinning like The Exorcist when it goes all around with the amount of points and the amount of plays in this game. So I have a 5-letter word in all caps next to this game in my notes.
What is it?
Tempo. So these two teams are 1st and 4th in plays per game. These teams combine to run an average of 165.5 plays per game. It's just like boom, boom, play, right there, boom, on the ball. So to me, that's the most annoying thing when you're betting an under is the team just takes forever to get to the line of scrimmage and run another play. We are not going to have that issue this week with these two teams. And I'll be honest, New Mexico State is terrible. They're 0-7 against FBS teams this year. Their only win is against an FCS team. Their defense, as you would expect, is brutal. Utah State's actually a pretty decent team. They've had some good teams over the last few years. Of course, the Jordan Love team a few years ago was really good. They're 4-1 in conference play, and their only losses in the entire season, one of them was outside of the conference to BYU, and the other one was to Boise State. So they've played up. They've played some tough teams, and this is also a game where I just don't see either team stopping anyone. Opponent yards per play on defense, New Mexico State 124th, Utah State 106th. There's only 130 teams in the FBS. So neither team plays defense. Both teams run ridiculously, the fastest tempos in the country. And I know 70 sounds like a lot of points, but when you have the tempo that these teams run at, I don't think it's that many points. So I think if this game just gets played and teams don't, botch things in the red zone and throw interceptions and turn it over, this game easily gets to 80. And I think Utah State, I'd be shocked if they don't get to 40, if not 50.
Okay.
So
I'm listening, Jared. I'm
listening. Utah State, New Mexico State, the dumpster dive total of the week. We're diving deep for this one. And I think it's a good bet. So have fun with it.
Okay. Yeah, I might tell you on that one. I'll give my dad a phone call after this show and just let him know. He
watches the show.
Gotta give the people what they want.
He watches the show.
All right. We have a very exciting game tonight. I don't know if you've heard, but the Braves could win the World Series tonight.
No.
In Houston. If you've been living under a rock, Jared, that is what's going on tonight. Let me tell you. And to talk a little bit more about it, let's bring in our friend, Sloppy John Hyslop. What's up, Sloppy John? How are you today? We're in your
living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream. Kids are home today, right? Didn't you send them on a walk?
Oh, yeah, all day. They're out with the dog right now, so let's hope they live. Or at least give me 2 or 3 coming back. All of them. But,
The toss-up at this point.
Yeah, just give me good numbers. Get 3 or 4 come back, just something.
Good odds. I need good odds. I need to find good value.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Sloppy John, there is a big game tonight. I was telling Jared, Game 6 of the World Series, and we're about to witness the Braves win this one at Minute Maid Park, and I'm feeling good about it. What are your thoughts heading into tonight? Are you in on any bets? What do you think is going to happen? Are the Astros going to force Game 7?
All right, Here's the thing. The Braves could win, but I don't think Max Fried makes it out of the 5th. Like his outs totals 15.5. So he's gonna have to get he's got to get an out in the 6th inning. I don't know, man. It's plus 130 under. He hasn't done this in 2 games. He's a kid. I like Max Fried. I don't even like that I'm putting this bet in, but he only went 5 last time. He gave up 6 runs in game 2. They hit him he looked like a piñata. It was bad. But you know what I mean? I just don't.
You're gonna make Lauren snort again.
He threw 86 pitches. They stuck with him. They let him throw 86 pitches, but they got rolled. You cannot imagine that they're gonna let something like that happen again tonight. So if he gets in some trouble early, he's getting the hook. You would think, but even so, even if he doesn't, he threw 86 pitches and didn't even get into the 6th inning last time. So that could happen again easily. So I think you have 2 ways to win. I mean, there's a road to a win twice, like he throws 90 pitches and doesn't get into the 6th inning, or he gets waxed. But either way, I just don't think he makes it. I mean, keep in mind that they took the kid out the other night. He had a no-no going. They took him out 76 pitches. So even if the guy's pitching, even if the guy's pitching good, they might pull him. So I don't know. I think that's a lot to ask. I think the price is probably where, what I like the most. I mean, plus 130, I'll take that all day.
It's interesting because game script, both teams had a day off yesterday. So the bullpens are rested for both. But then you also have a pending game 7 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm curious which team, Dusty or Snicker, more aggressive early with their bullpens, because it's I'll be honest, the bullpen, decisions, that's what decides these games. When they pull, when they move, when they do this. And I'm curious, because you're right, Snicker's been more aggressive with taking pitchers out. Dusty, I think, gives his guys a little more rope. So if I had to pick an under for one of the pitcher out props tonight, I absolutely say Fried would be the guy. I think the Braves are going to be super aggressive tonight. They're not going to want a game 7. They're going to throw out every single stop that they can to win this game tonight. The game 7 tomorrow, you do not want to save anybody for game 7 because then it might be too late.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I look at this one and I look at a guy like Austin Riley and the way that he's been playing. I mean, he's had a phenomenal postseason. And, I was at game 5. I got to watch him. And I mean, he just looks like very comfortable right now. I like him for over 1.5 total bases at plus 140. And I think he's left a little bit to be desired on the fantasy front, but he's gone 10 for 26 since Atlanta's final game versus the Dodgers. So that's pretty good. He hasn't gone yards since game 1 of the NLCS, but he does have 4 doubles during this 6-game stretch. And he started the postseason ice cold against right-handed pitching. I think he went like 4 for 26 or 4 for 27 from game 1 of the NLDS through game 5 of the NLCS. However, 8 of his 10 hits since game 6 of the NLCS have come against right-handers. So he's feeling it right now. 11 total bases in the process. So I think tonight, if I just want to sprinkle a little bit on it, but my big one is just, we'll get to it with best bets. I have Braves money line. I'm all in on them to it. I'm all in on the Braves tonight. But I know. Slop, are you in on anything else? Any props? Any other?
Austin Riley over a half of an RBI.
There you go.
Plus 180.
It's like a double bet. How about a same game parlay with those two?
All you got to do is win one, and you walk with a little cash, between the Fried prop. But Riley is hitting the cover off the ball. Yeah. He got 3 hits last game, 2 hits the game before. He's got a hit in every game in this series. 3 RBIs, each one in only 1 per game. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he got 3 RBIs in game 1, and now we're saying he had 3 RBIs. It was 3 different games he had an RBI. Yeah. So just get a hit in front of the guy. He's going to knock you in. It's basically all I'm hoping for tonight. But plus 180 on that feels like severely mispriced for a guy that's, he's hitting 4th in the lineup. Albies is in front of him playing well. Yeah, Freeman's hitting well.
Freeman's got a hit in every game.
Yeah,
he's always
just get on base. Who's the leadoff guy? He's doing it too.
Well, they've been putting Soler in that spot. I would assume Soler gets it again.
Rosario was hitting there.
They moved Rosario down in the lineup a little bit, which I thought was interesting.
I think he's batting 5th now.
Yeah, I don't want Soler up in the top though, because he's a home run or nothing guy. You know what I mean? He's like a waste of an at bat in front. If you want an RBI for Riley, but no, dude, plus 180. Yeah, sign me up. I'll take it right now.
Nice.
Yeah. I know. It's going to be a really, really exciting one. I think that the crowd's going to obviously be popping. The Astros have been there before, but I feel like the Braves they have it right now. They have it. It's going to happen.
You just moved to Atlanta, so they've got the Lauren and Jbara mojo going for them right now.
My brother texted me and he's like, you have a really good knack of moving to cities where teams are on the verge of winning championships. So, hopefully we'll make it happen.
Everybody needs a niche. I mean, that's a good one.
That's
not a lot of people.
Can you move to New York, please?
Yeah.
I've been watching the freaking Jets and the Giants suck for years.
Yeah, it's my shtick. I'm just gonna stick with it. We'll see what happens.
It works. You know what I mean?
That's going to be an exciting one to watch tonight. Okay, NBA. We're about 6-7 games into the season, 8 for some teams, and we're starting to see some trends develop. Are there any games that you're looking at heading into tonight? Jared, I'll start with you.
Honestly, no. I trust you guys. I trust you guys with the NBA stuff.
No.
Honestly, I am nothing if not honest. If I have something really smart and insightful to share with the audience, I will do my best to do so. When I have nothing smart or insightful to share with the audience, I will tip my cap and say, please, John, save me from my NBA delusions of grandeur.
That's not a bad strategy. I
wish that I had more time to invest in the NBA. I just don't right now. There's too many other things happening, but we will get there at some point. But John's got some good picks for you too.
Yeah, Sloppy John, give us what you got.
Well, see, I approach the NBA with if there's a game, then I'm going to bet it, right? So my hands are tied here.
The opposite of me, basically.
Yeah.
If there's brownies sitting on the kitchen counter, I'm gonna eat.
I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, I don't make the schedule. You know what I mean? I didn't do this. It's my hands are tied. I was given this world, I didn't make it. But it's I forgot my pick. Jerami Grant over 4.5 rebounds tonight. All right. So what I do early in the season, just try and do all plus money. Every single one you do, because look, it's hard. The rotations are just getting figured out. The coaches don't even know the rotation. So the idea that we're going to sit here and act like we know what these rotations are, that's stupid. Yeah. Just take some plus money. Don't be the guy that has 8 plays on the card all over 140, 130. Yeah. You're like, dude, that is never going to work. Nope. You're going to, even if you're up, it'll be 20 and 15 plus 2 units, something stupid like that. You're like, man, that can go south so fast. So what you do is just look for those plus. This one's plus 110. This guy's played 30 minutes in every game except for one. He's got at least 5 rebounds in all those games, except for the one where he didn't play 30 minutes. I think the Pistons are kind of going to make it a game. I don't think they're going to win this game at all, but the Bucks have lost 3 straight. Holiday's not playing. Neither's Lopez. They don't look great. The Pistons, on the other hand, they're at home. They're a bad team, but again, they're going to be fired up. It's early in the season. I bet you they can just get him his shift in the fourth quarter. He'll probably grab 5 rebounds tonight. Keldon Johnson just had 11 against the Bucks the other night at the power forward spot. Vanderbilt, I think, from Minnesota, he had a elevated rebound game. It wasn't like a 20-board game, but dude, we only need 5. This guy didn't have to set a record tonight. Just get 5 rebounds, go sit down. That's all we need. But yeah, plus 110, I think that's worth a bet. I'm doing it.
I'm also looking at the same game. I look at the Bucks, and you mentioned it. They lost the last 3. I know they're out 3 of their starters. It does help that Giannis Antetokounmpo is expected to play tonight. I think even with a depleted roster, though, the Bucks are still a better team than the Pistons. I mean, come on, the Pistons right now. Defense, I look at the Pistons stats. They're allowing 107.2 points per game and have struggled by allowing opponents to shoot an NBA best almost 50% from the floor and 43% from 3-point range. I think it's 48.7 or 48.8 from the floor. Not good. And you look at a team like the Milwaukee Bucks, the reigning NBA champs. It's just hard for me to back Detroit in this situation. The Pistons have failed to cover the spread in 5 of their last 6 home games. And Milwaukee, you can't overlook a team like that, regardless of if some of their starters are missing, right? They've covered the spread. Milwaukee has in 11 of their last 14 head-to-head games against Detroit. And I just have to back them here. So I have the Bucks laying 4.
Wow.
At Little Caesars.
The market's moved in your favor. Because everyone's on the Pistons. So I do have some insightful things because I can give you the splits from this game and where the market's moving.
Perfect.
That's, at least I'm good for something, right? So all the early money. And again, this is why I don't like to read too much into the splits because the NBA, the money comes in fast, late once the rosters and the lineups get announced. But the overnight action was all on Detroit, but the line did move in Milwaukee's favor. And the total dropped 6 points. So clearly whoever is supposed to play tonight probably isn't going to play, because when a total drops 6 points in the NBA overnight from 216 to 210, clearly there's some roster issues happening. If I had to pick this game, I would definitely take the Bucks too. Aren't they coming off a loss too? Didn't they get beat by Utah the other night?
I think 3 in a row.
They're gonna win this game. They're gonna win this game.
A bounce back game for them.
They're gonna win this game.
Here's what I do: instead of look at splits, I think about like future me that's about to sit on the couch, right, and watch this game. And I think, would I want to have a Detroit Pistons +5 ticket in my hand watching this?
No.
That would be a miserable existence to think that would be something you'd want to do. Like on
it's
purpose.
Like me betting the under.
Yeah, no, it's literally like taking an under.
What do you do with yourself?
Yeah, like why would you do this? And that's pretty much what I'm thinking about this game. Like I know, like I said, the Bucks they're having their struggles, but this is the Pistons, and I mean,
Bucks
like,
by 20.
All we get's 5 to back them. Like that's crazy.
Bucks by 20.
Yeah,
Bucks by 20. And
that's all I'm hoping is let's just hope that they get to the fourth quarter with it kind of being a game. Like, Bucks can still be up 10, but don't be up 30, like to where Grant's sitting. That's all I'm asking. Just be kind of, like it might be competitive, but it's not. And then get
you want the Bucks to jack up
shift.
1 million shots tonight. That's a good thing for you.
And just miss a lot of them long.
Yeah, they're gonna miss. They're gonna miss a decent amount.
Dude, 5 rebounds, guys. Like this isn't. I mean, come on,
dude.
Like you could accidentally get 5,
bro.
You could accidentally get 5 rebounds.
I get 5 rebounds at my rec league game easily on Wednesday nights.
Yep, no doubt. I'm not even a rebound guy. I can get 5, and if they bounce to me,
my cardio's taken a big hit through the pandemic. I have not run the floor as well
as you've been on your Peloton though. Come on.
I know, but Peloton and actual real life basketball are like 2 completely different things. Yeah, when like someone's yelling at you to pedal faster, you can always just not. When like there's a guy running at you with a basketball and you have to stop him, you don't have a choice. You have to be on your toes.
Oh my god!
Just stand in the way. That's all you gotta do.
Take the charge.
Take the charge. Although nobody's getting a charge in a pickup game. So
oh my god!
You can't just call charge.
On that note, boys, let's charge. Do you like that play?
Ooh, elite.
The Pickswise 3-star play of the day. I'll take a bow for that one. Thank you very much, Jared. 3-star play of the day.
She's a polished pro, everybody. All right, there is Maction tonight. Breaking news. We have Maction tonight. There's 3 games on the schedule, actually. So you've got a soup du jour. You got your pick of the litter if you want to get involved with some Maction tonight. I am getting involved in one of the games. There's 2 that I like, but there's one that I really like a little bit more than the other ones. Toledo laying 8.5 against Eastern Michigan. I love this Toledo team. And Eastern Michigan has not impressed me at all. Their only road wins this year are against Bowling Green and UMass, double and Toledo's actually coming off a really impressive win over Western Michigan. They won by almost 3 touchdowns. The Rockets, here's one thing I like about Toledo, and this does not happen a lot in the MAC. The Rockets play defense. Top 20 in opponent yards per play, 21st in opponent points per game, and we even have a little bit of sharp reverse line movement towards the Rockets tonight. A lot of the handle coming in on Eastern Michigan as an underdog, but the line has moved off of 8 to 8.5. I even see some 9s floating out there in the market. I grabbed 8.5. We're laying it with the Rockets tonight. Go Toledo in Maction. Exciting stuff. Maction's back.
I'm a big fan of it. Sloppy John, what do you got for your best bet of the day?
Well, besides the props, I won't do sides and totals a lot of times, but one that I do like, I have no stats for, but that's okay because stats are for losers. So we don't even need them. Just watch the game. The Miami Heat tonight, -2. They're in Dallas. That doesn't matter. That team is killing people so far this season. And they're playing with an edge. I think that's their thing. Like every year you're going to see NBA teams come out in October like it matters. You know what I mean? Like while other teams kind of take a backseat, they're not doing that. They're coming out and they're trying to be bullies. And they're killing people. They remember when they beat the Bucks? I mean, the first game of the season or whatever, that they waxed them. They lost their next game. I think that was a letdown spot, and they have not lost since. They get Bam back tonight. Just what PJ Tucker makes them have more of an attitude. The Mavericks are the exact opposite. Like I think they're soft. I think they're weak. They're literally a one-trick pony. Even though that's a really good one trick with Luka, not good enough tonight. I bet you Miami slaughters them I would say 10 plus, and we only got to lay 2.
What a word, slaughter.
Slaughter. Yep.
So gruesome.
It might be a gruesome beat, though. I mean, if you think about it.
Market move in your favor, though. So stats are for losers, but the market likes
They
you.
are.
Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, they just are.
Do you want to know what's going to be so awesome about today, guys?
Are the Braves going to win the World Series?
World Series. How did you know you took that out of my mouth?
That's what people
I
are
knew
saying.
you were going to say that.
People are saying that.
Best bet. Braves money line. Do you want me to say it again? Braves money line. It's going to be a good game. Tonight is the night for the Atlanta Braves. As much as the Astros have managed to survive without Lance McCullers since the ALCS, that has to catch up to them at some point. Sure, the Braves do have a similar situation with Charlie Morton going down, which, by the way, was horrible. Hated to see that. But the extended performance they got from Fried in Game 2, Anderson strong in Game 3, no hits through 5 innings, which I thought they should have kept him in a little bit longer, but they still got the win anyways. That's fine. Has helped conserve the bullpen, which has been a vital part of Atlanta's success throughout the postseason, my friends. Ultimately, the Braves relievers are what make the difference for me in this one, with both the offenses showing in the series that they can, take it to any starter. I think tonight is the night that the Atlanta Braves win the World Series. I was at Game 5 after that grand slam in the bottom of the first. Looked around at my friends and I'm like, tonight's the night, guys. We're going to witness the World Series. So I personally take responsibility for the loss in Game 5.
That's big of you.
It is.
It's really hard. The last day and a half have been really tough, Slop. I'm going to be honest with you, just digesting that happened and the fact that I jinxed them. But you know what?
Winners always come back.
Tonight's the night. Game 6.
That was a poetic handicap. You had the hand movements.
Yeah.
I almost felt like you were rapping for us.
Minute Maid Park has nothing.
You were
nothing on the Atlanta Braves. Nothing. I'm ready to go. I'm pumped. I'm going to wear my Braves hat, my Braves shirt the rest of the day today.
Nice.
It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day.
It feels like it. It feels like it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, I know. Slop,
So
you get to get in on some of your kids' Halloween candy.
Oh, that's the best.
Next to you.
That's why you have 3 of them.
Yeah. If one of them has the almond joys, you're like, ugh, who has the Reese's?
Yeah. Got another bag. Just 2 other bags. We're good. We're all set.
You get the pick of the litter. I love it. All right, that's it for us today. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to pickswise.com. Download the Pickswise app. Follow Sloppy John on Twitter. Follow Jared on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, but they're more entertaining than me anyways. Best of luck.
Stop.
Go Braves. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's get it. Let's bet it.